It is remarkable to me how difficult these 100 kilos are off this low box. I've done 100 kilos in a normal regular squat for over 30 reps. Right? So I can do 30 reps normally, but off the box, I'm struggling with 5 reps. I can feel my hips fighting. I can feel instability. It's just a complete spanner in the works when you have to develop strength, when you have to develop force in an unfamiliar range of motion, in an unfamiliar place. It's just a shock to the system. It's unreal. I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, I'm so far away from doing 30 freaking reps, man. And now the bar might look like it's moving on the screen. And I've watched every single one of these reps, after each of these sets. They look pretty good, but I know what I'm feeling inside. The hips are there trying to, I don't know what they're trying to do. They're trying to go into anterior pelvic tilt. I'm fighting the back so it can be flat. I want to lean over a whole lot. I don't know where to go. I'm fighting in this weird range. And I think, I always have good feelings about a lot of these things that I try. But today I think is day 4 of doing these in a row, box squats. And if I didn't think they were good, if they didn't feel like they were helping me, I wouldn't be doing anything for 4 days in a row. You guys know my style, man. I listen to what the body's telling me. I feel things. If it's not feeling good to me, I'm most likely not going to do it. I might do it for a few days in a row to see how they go. But now with these box squats, I'm thinking, man, I want to do this every single day. I've tried to kind of, do a bit of a wave, change the intensity a little bit. So yesterday I did 60 kilos for a bunch of sets, sets of 10. Today I'm doing, sets of 5 with 100 kilos. A few days ago I did 120 for, triples. So I'm trying to mix it all up, and none of these weights are feeling good. Even one freaking plate feels strange to get off the box. And you would think to yourself, okay, this box, the 10-inch box that I'm using right now, it's not too dissimilar from the ATG position that I have. But you have to remember, in the ATG, I'm not coming from a dead stop. Even though you might pause an ATG squat, there's always some sort of elasticity in the muscles. There's always something to help you out. You're not going from an absolute dead stop. This is like a dead squat. It's like a deadlift and a squat mixed together. You are generating force from this position. It's really strange. And this is why I think it's going to carry over to the deadlift. More so probably than even the squat. With the squat, probably there's a lot of reliance on the bounce, on that stretch reflex, whether you're going to parallel or ATG. It doesn't really matter what body part you're using for the stretch reflex. There's a high degree of that, especially for the big athletes, for the guys with big bellies and big legs. There's a lot of suspension there as we go into triple flexion, if you will. And so we kind of bounce off these structures. If you're a really skinny character, and you're going to an ATG squat, you're on your own, buddy. This is what people don't understand. It's not just a muscular, thing. It's the body size, the leverages change a lot, man. If you see somebody that's 150 kilos and, is around 170 centimeters, he's like a big bowl. These people squat really well because it's like jumping on a freaking bed, man. The belly hits the quads, the hamstrings hit the calves, and off you go. You get out of that most difficult position, let's say the full triple, flexion, with some speed. And then you can jump over the universal sticking point with this added speed. Whereas if you're a skinny guy, if you're, let's say, the same height, but you're 60 kilos, man, there is no belly anywhere. When you hit that rock bottom, it's just you and that hip. That's all there is. The knee angle is more acute. The hip angle is more acute. You're probably carrying less muscle as it is. And so it's, you start to kind of realize why big people are just stronger, whether they just train a lot or they go into the kitchen and empty their fridge into their mouth, every single night. There's a lot of that, and we can talk about whether that's good or bad or whatever the case might be. In the sport of powerlifting, is just about strength. And so no one cares what your freaking resting blood pressure is or what your resting heart rate is and respiration rate and all of that. That's not part of the powerlifting meet, but it would be interesting if you can somehow make a competition to control for that. some of these super freaking heavyweights will be not coming first, man, because they're unhealthy. So this is where, you know, we start to kind of break the boundaries of what we're trying to do here. But, you know, we all have different expectations from life and what we want out of our bodies. You know, in my mind, like, I came to the gym to get better. You know, I didn't come in here to trade. When I say trade, I didn't want to trade my health for strength. That's never been the option for me, man. This is why drugs are never going to be part of my life. This is why super, you know, massive body weights are not going to be part of my life. This is why I don't like protein powders. This is why I don't like all these different supplements. I don't like, you know, sniffing ammonia and all this sort of stuff, because I just feel like that is not doing, you know, good to me. I feel like I'm trading certain elements for other elements. And this is where you have to question, like, are you really getting stronger or are you just trading? You know, if you're trading and you're interested in trading, that's cool, man. But to me, you know, health is always number one, man. Like, it's always been the case. You know, so this is why I think that the box squat is so difficult, because even regardless of your body size or body weight, you're on your own. There is no stretch reflex. There is no body parts to lean on. You are literally sitting on the box and you have to generate that force all by yourself. And, you know, if you're around that parallel or just below parallel, you know, the biomechanics are freaking against you, man, in every single way. So this is why I think 100 kilos feels so damn heavy to me, man. I keep looking at the damn bar. I'm like, have I misloaded this sucker, man? Why is this shit so heavy? I'm thinking to myself, today is even heavier than the other day. You know, I mean, I've come from 2 night shifts now. Today I'm sluggish as hell, like, blah, blah, blah. You know, I don't want to bore you with that stuff, but not feeling the greatest. But still, I keep looking at the bar, man. I'm like, damn, man, this is kicking my ass, you know. And, you know, if you're somebody that's struggling with your ego, you know, you might be thinking to yourself, nah, screw that, man. Let me put on a couple of more wheels and do this, you know, the version that I can really push weight. But sometimes it's not just about the weight, man. It's how you manipulate that weight. You know, going to a stop is a whole different ball game, man. Like, to me, the way these weights move, I keep looking at it, I'm like, it feels like 160. It feels like 163, man. I'm telling you, man. It's just so freaking heavy, especially in the initial part, because there is no speed from the ATG position. There is no stretch reflex. I literally am generating force in the worst possible spot for me. It's a different beast. But, you know, if you get over that whole ego thing and you think to yourself, man, this is rather cheap. You know, let's think about it, man. This is 100 kilos for me. I'm capable of much more. I can do this damn thing for 30 damn reps, but I'm doing it for 5. You know, I'm doing it for 5. I'm doing 10 sets of 5 today, right? So that's 50 reps. It's taking me a freaking hour to get through this. But if you think about the spinal loading, the costs required to do this work, it's fairly low, right? It feels like shit, so I'm getting a big stimulus to some of these body parts, but the load is going to be, you know, the cost is going to be low because of the spinal loading is only 100 kilos, man. You know, I'm capable of deadlifting 260, squatting 210. I'm using 100 kilos for a freaking workout. Now, I'm not saying to you that you can just get away with doing that and that's it. You're going to be freaking, you know, squatting 300 and deadlifting 300. You need to have some sort of realness to your training. That's what I believe. You need to kind of visit your freaking sport, and the sport is not a box squat. You know, by listening to Louis Simmons, he says none of his guys do free squats in the gym. It's always off a box. It's always off a box, and all these different variations, SSB bar, camber bar, different heights, chains, bands, all this sort of stuff. He's always manipulating some of these, let's say, you know, side elements to the squat, and using those aspects of the lift and challenging those aspects, and not necessarily all the time with weight. I think that's a clever idea, especially if you're interested in a high frequency type of program. This is really up my alley, right? Like, I can get away with a bigger stimulus for cheaper. This stuff doesn't usually exist in nature. You can't get lots of stuff for cheap stuff for a cheap price. Usually they're correlated. If you buy cheap shit, you're probably going to be buying it again very, very soon in the future. If you buy really good quality, you're going to get longevity from it. You're going to get time. With this, I'm like, man, there's something fishy about this, man. Like, I seem to be getting, you know, a really good stimulus, and I'm not getting beat up, which is freaking interesting. Anyway, man, so this is day 4 in a row. I mean, tomorrow I'm not working tomorrow, so I'm going to look to go to the gym and, get back to the normal stuff. So I want to do the real squat. I want to do the deadlift again. It's been a few days now. I feel horrible on nights, especially these two, man. Like these 2 nights, I don't know, they've killed me, man. Not feeling the greatest. But anyway, let's see how I feel tomorrow, and after, let's try and get some sleep and get back to some sort of normality. But these pin squats, man, these box squats, they're really making me think, man. Louis freaking Simmons, man. He knew what was up. Special thanks to all the guys on the screen here. Obviously, appreciate the rest of the guys on the Patreon as well. Discord, YouTube comments, Instagram. Appreciate all of you guys, and thank you for the support. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.